Ready, set, go. When it comes to preparing for wildfire, remember, ready means prepare early, pack a go kit, and sign up for emergency alerts. Set means there's an extreme threat. Monitor fire conditions and load essentials into your car. Go means evacuate now. Listen to first responders and don't return until officials say it's safe. Visit coloradosprings.gov for more. Ready, set, go. I'm Jen Schrader, and this is Behind the Springs, conversations with the people working for you in Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Hello, everyone, and welcome. As you probably know, Colorado is experiencing one of its warmest periods on record. That includes both our winter season that's wrapping up and spring, which is just beginning, which feels a lot more like summer. And this has many impacts, including a very alarming situation for the team that keeps an eye on our wildfire risks. So I'm really grateful to have Colorado Springs Fire Department Chief Randy Royal here. Randy, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And we're going to dive a little deeper into what it means for our community, sort of this odd year, and also what it means to be prepared. We've been sharing messaging about that for a little while now, and really for as long as you and I have been around, right? We've done that. And I'm hoping that maybe listeners have heard about our Ready, Set, Go campaign, which is out there. But even if you haven't, we're going to talk about it today and wildfire preparedness. Before we get to that, I'd love your perspective on this unusual year. Just what is this like in terms of your experience, which is how many years now?
With the department, I'm in my 40th year.
40th year. Oh, wow. This is a big one. This is a big, congratulations.
Yeah,
so you've seen a lot in those 4 decades. How does this measure up?
It's pretty concerning. Mm-hmm. It's really concerning. It's probably the driest state that I've seen in the last few decades. And it is aligning with how we looked at the winter, spring before Waldo happened, but maybe even a little bit warmer than that.
So reminiscent of that.
Absolutely.
You sort of had that same feeling leading up to Waldo, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we normally, if you go back like 10 years and even before Waldo, a normal year would have 2 to 5 red flags in a year for us.
The red flag warnings,
yeah,
yes.
Red flag warnings, which means that conditions are ripe for a wildfire, or if a wildfire occurs, it could grow really fast. So that was normal, 2 to 5 a year. In the last 10 years, we've been doing that about every month.
Oh.
So that that's equaling about 40 to 50, maybe or so a year. Last 2 years, but this year specifically. We're way beyond that, and so in the first 2 months, and if you include the last couple of weeks, we're probably in the 25 now range for wildfire
already
in the first quarter.
Right.
So that means we're going to end up with, if that pace continues, we're going to end up with doubling our previous high years and having about 100 red flags this year, which is just insane.
I knew we were high, but I didn't know we were that many. But it has started to feel like, wow, I'm hearing this red flag warning all the time, whereas before it was very rare, and we don't want people to get complacent with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But they may, because they're hearing it all the time.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and we look at our fuel moistures regularly, and they're concerning as well. There's a number of categories, which includes pine trees and oak brush and grasses and duff, and so each one is measured on its own. But the last I looked at it, so I haven't had the update one, which I'm sure is going to be worse than the last one. Almost every category was either very high or extreme. And so that's the far end of the table. And again, that doesn't bode well for fire starts.
And we've gotten a few of these little snowstorms here and there, some moisture, and people start to relax a little bit. But really, when you look at the whole picture, right, that doesn't do much for us.
No, it's so brief, and it gets sucked up right away or evaporates, because of the weather. And, along with the high temperatures, and like this Saturday is supposed to be 85 degrees. And I think next week is supposed to be mainly in the 80s. Yeah, those are our early summer temperatures, right? And
it feels wrong.
Yeah,
it feels wrong.
It's dried out. The winds, if we get the winds, and this is typically the time of year that we get those big winds, because you get these, just like that snowstorm you mentioned, the day before it's 77, next day is down to 30, and that just drives these massive winds coming in. That's where the problem is we get a fire started in those winds, then we're having a lot of work to do.
And I know how it makes you feel as chief, obviously very nervous and unsettled. What does it make you do? What are the actions that you all take to prepare in a situation like this?
Well, as far as the fire department internally, we're always looking at that,
right.
Doing wildfire training. We have 3 stations, Station 4, 3, and 9, that are our wildland program. Everybody on the job is trained in wildfire firefighting, and we do it regularly,
okay.
no matter what station you're in. Those 3 stations are our primary professional go-tos, and they get more training at a higher level as well.
Oh, I see. So they're even more specialized.
Yes,
okay.
And they have our wildland engines as well that are 4-wheel drive and that can go off-road and those type of things. But we do, every spring, we have what we call our wildland drill. And that's where every company in the city goes out and practices wildfire firefighting. And this year we're also kind of focusing on what we call tactical evacuation. So that's the initial evacuation, getting people out. And we work in coordination with the police department when we're doing evacuations. And they typically will end up taking it all over while we're trying to fight the fire. And it just depends on if we need to try to save lives or if we can get between the fire, which will help save lives. Those decisions are made, at the time.
So they're part of that training with you too?
Not this particular, but we do exercises
with them.
With
yes,
PD.
Right. Okay. And so that's good for people to know, because in an evacuation, it's not necessarily going to be a firefighter. It could be a police officer.
Absolutely.
It could be a number of different first responders working together.
Yeah, could be your neighbor.
Right. It could be, yes, or it could be an alert on your phone, whatever it might be to prompt you. So, so sort of bringing us into that, it's one of those things. I know that the Colorado Springs Fire Department often likes to talk about shared responsibility, which is a great line because it reminds us that, you can't do your job without us and we can't be here without you. Right. We both need each other in terms of the residents versus the fire department. And so this is a similar idea here with our Ready, Set, Go campaign. And it's really just asking the residents to be ready, set, go. And those are 3 different areas, 3 different kind of levels of preparedness for them, and an easy way, hopefully, for them to remember. So can you just talk about why it's important? I feel like we talk about it every year, but there's a reason we do that, because you are in such a difficult position if you've got all your things lined up and nobody is ready on the other side.
Yes. So obviously our primary concern is life safety.
Yes.
And if people have to be rescued and or alerted to leave their houses, not doing it by either being alerted on their own or being aware, then we have to divert resources to do that, which takes them away from fighting the fire.
Right.
If we know people are being evacuated or have left the area already and we're good, then we can just focus on the fire itself and try to save as many houses as we can. So obviously we're going to give up houses to save lives. We're not even going to worry about the houses burning if we need to focus on saving
But wouldn't it be
lives.
nice to save both?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So I mean,
that's our goal, is to save both.
That's where it comes in handy and helps you. Not to mention that it's what you can control in a situation that you cannot control, right? I mean, I want people to think about, it feels like very, very difficult and chaotic, but these are things that can help keep everyone calm and save lives, like you said.
I think that's the best thing about Ready, Set, Go. The ready part of it is being prepared all the time.
All the time. Okay.
And part of that is being proactive with yourself and your family and your neighbors, and what do we need to be ready, right? If an event's to occur, have those discussions with your family, have those things ready to go if you have to go, be prepared, things that you may not think about on the fly, or unfortunately, some people have lost their lives because they've stayed trying to get things that they think are important. None of that's important. You can
because you only have minutes sometimes.
Sometimes you only have minutes. So
right. So a lot of times, we talk about being ready, like you said, all the time. That first area of preparedness is really about thinking about documents, medication. And I think people are guilty, or at least I am too, admittedly, of saying, I kind of know where everything is. Yeah. I'll be fine. But it's more about having a plan of, really, where are those documents? And I think we recently had a resident talk about how she grabbed a picture of what she thought was valuable photos, and then what was it?
Oh,
it was like her in-laws' slides,
or it was things that were
it was junk,
junk,
sort of junky, and she grabbed the wrong thing. Right. So in the chaos of the moment, and she just wasn't as prepared as she now is. Right. So that's those type of things. And Mayor Yemi was talking the other day about his Go Kit not being up to date because they had one, but their kids' clothes are all too small that are in it. Mm-hmm. So it's just updating and having that conversation with your family. Where are we going to meet? All those type of things, right? That's the ready. That's sort of the ready.
In a mindset of every year, kind of like same thing with your smoke detector batteries. Those
right.
Things.
Do it at the same time. Yeah.
Checking your bag and and thinking through the plan and just knowing. And the reality of that is with the changes climate and seasons as well. Mm-hmm. It used to be wildfire was the threat in the summer. Mm-hmm. It's all year round.
It's all year round.
The thousands of homes a couple of years ago that were lost up in Louisville, that was in December.
I know.
And the day after, they had a big snowstorm.
That was crazy, the Marshall Fire.
Right, the Marshall Fire, yeah.
Right. And so let's talk about what set means. Set means there's a threat nearby, basically, and that's the time when you start really paying attention. Not that you're not always paying attention, but it's coming close to you in some way.
Yeah, and you can be in a better place by going ahead and loading up your car.
Okay. Leaving if you want.
Leaving, yeah. If you feel the threat is enough that you want to go, and we really encourage that, especially if you have somebody who's going to take more time, or you have pets, animals, horses, those type of things. If you know it's going to take more time, we suggest just load up and go.
And literally beat the rush, because there will be traffic, headaches, and that type of thing if everyone leaves at once.
Right.
So never bad to leave early.
Right.
Yeah. And then the other thing with set, like you said, loading up your car really helps with the go part, which is you've got to go, which means evacuate right now. It doesn't mean load up your car. I want to make, kind of a differentiation between that, because that really is the time saver for you all.
That's not the time to be loading your car. That's not the time to be hooking your horse trailer up to your truck.
Finding the dog.
Yeah, finding the dog. Whatever, taking a shower.
Right, right. Yes.
It's
taking your time. Yeah, don't be taking your time.
And unfortunately, if you look back since Waldo, the month before Waldo, we've had the 5 biggest fires have been in Colorado in those times, and the 5 biggest losses of homes. Mm-hmm. And in those times, we've lost across the state, 10 people have died. Mm-hmm. You know what those 10 people had in common? They didn't evacuate. They didn't leave.
They died in their homes.
Yeah. And if they had left when they were told to leave, they'd still be alive today. Mm-hmm. And so it's just not something that you want to mess with. And we'd rather be proactive on our side, evacuate people, and go, well, you can come back. We got it. We got it under control.
Right. Come back a few hours later.
Yeah.
Right.
Then do it the other way. And the other thing is we have technology now that we didn't have back then. A couple different types, but one is we will not evacuate as big an area as we did during Waldo.
Okay.
That was a huge area, and there was like 30,000 people. In that same area, so Fillmore to the Air Force Academy to I-25, that's a huge area. Mm-hmm. Well, in that same area, we set up these zones. There's like 80-some zones in there. But the people making those decisions now can actually pinpoint smaller areas. And so that will help with the flow of people coming out.
Just because you have more sophisticated technology and mapping.
More technology and mapping and the ability to do real time, looking at those. But instead of moving 30,000 people, we might be moving, 300 people.
Mm-hmm. At a time, yes, right.
And so that should help us, in an event, do that. But in any case, if you're the one that we're telling you to evacuate, go. If you're feeling threatened, go ahead and leave. So,
and then a couple other good pointers for the go stage is check in with family and friends once you're safe. Listen to the first responders, what directions they're giving you. There may be an alternate route that they're asking you to take or things like that. And then do not return until you get the official word. Not the word from like your neighbor's friend's cousin, but the official word.
Right.
Because a lot of times people want to get back in there as soon as possible, and it's not quite time yet.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else for that stage or for any of the stages?
No, I mean, I think, again, going back to the ready stage, and I didn't mention this earlier, part of the preparation, and we really try to focus on this, is mitigating your house. We have a whole wildfire mitigation program. They do great work. They're just gearing up for the spring-summer program with home mitigations. And if anybody's interested, they just check our website, and we'll come out and assess their house and let them know what they need to do to make it safer. And then we have the chipping program where we go into neighborhoods. There's like 140 neighborhood associations, and we work with them, and we go in there and clean up all the chipping. But that mitigation is kind of that, again, being ready, but preparing your house gives that house a lot better chance to survive.
Do you feel like over the course of your career, you've seen compliance shift in a positive direction?
Yes, we definitely have a lot more of our citizens involved and participating. We still have those that go like, no, I don't want to do that. And unfortunately, if there's a fire rolling through, we're going to spend time on the ones that have been mitigated because they're easier to save, and we can save more of them.
Right.
Versus one that's not mitigated.
Will take so much longer, and
we don't have a chance to save.
Don't have a chance. Yeah. And so a lot of those residents too that may not be complying. I know some say some just say no, but some are just new to the area, right? And so it's really an education piece of letting these people know about the risk here in Colorado, or even in their neighborhood, especially if they move to, say, the west side.
Yes, and here in the last couple of years, what we started doing is every quarter, we actually find who has moved in to the WUI in our city.
Say what WUI is.
Wildland Urban Interface.
Wildland Urban Interface.
So the more
fun little acronym for everybody.
The more threatened area of our town for wildfire.
Yes,
it's really the forested area. You can
just right where you think.
Yep. And so what we do is when we see somebody's moved new into those neighborhoods, they actually get a card in the mail that talks about the risk to their area, and gives them a number of links that they can, including. The Ready, Set, Go, the mitigation program, those type of things, where they can get help and get understanding of the threat that's around them.
Oh, that's great. So, I mean, we're moving in the right direction in that way.
Absolutely.
It's just making sure everybody's aware.
Yeah. And the reality is, and I'll say this as the fire chief, is we can do everything we can to do everything right, and Mother Nature is the one that's going to dictate things when it comes down to 100-mile-an-hour winds. But we're going to be the safest and the best position by being prepared, being ready, being set when it's time and going when it's time to go. That's going to help us all out, whether it's firefighters or citizens, to be safe. And
I would imagine a lot of folks look to us, right, for an example, because we've been through so much here in Colorado. But this entire region is probably feeling pretty nervous right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a big, huge part of the United States that's been in this dry spell. So it's going to be an interesting summer.
It is.
So how do you walk the line as fire chief between, alarmist, you don't want to be panicked, but you don't want to be too complacent.
Yeah, I think it's
just preparedness, I guess.
It's being prepared and putting it out to our citizens, and our coworkers, everybody, that this is a different time, and we need a high level of awareness. And if people, we just had one this morning where somebody called in a smoke thing. It was from a campfire, and we need people to do that. If they see something, notify us, or if they're concerned about something. We obviously have the drones now that help us out a lot with determining. Like on this one this morning, the drone flew over it, saw it was a campfire with some rocks around it, and it was actually in a good spot. So we had more than one unit go in there, and we canceled the other units and just let the one unit go in there and do it. Now,
The drone footage has helped you be much more efficient.
right.
Yes.
And the other way is if the drone gets there and says, yeah, this is not in a good spot, we can send all sorts of resources over there.
Quickly. Yeah.
And get ready. So,
Oh, that's great. Well, let's not make your 40th year really memorable.
a hot one.
Right, a hot one. That's right. Let's keep it very calm, and we're hoping that people do take the time to be prepared.
Yeah,
Thanks for going
absolutely.
over all this information.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really important, and I want to let people know that coloradosprings.gov/ready-set-go is a great place to visit because it's got this whole checklist. We didn't cover everything, so you can go on there and get the checklist. You can get mitigation tips, and it just has some great things for everyone to keep in mind, whether you've been here for 5 minutes or 50 years. I think we could all probably use some of these tips, and just makes us feel ready to go if the worst happens here. So thank you, Chief, for all you do and for all your team does. And thank you all for listening and for being prepared. Have a great day.